Hello and welcome to the Sri Lanka Morning Show. Joining us today is Nesan Naidoo, Director of Number 8 Property Group. Today, Nesan will be answering some important questions regarding the property market in the current coronavirus environment. Nesan, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me, Sahini.
Now, Nesan, look, I know that the coronavirus is impacting each and every one of us at the moment, and I'd really like to get your thoughts on how the virus has actually impacted the market as it stands.
What we're finding is that in times of turbulence like we're going through right now, with very strong headwinds from an economic perspective and other investment avenues, we find there is now a flight to safety and security, which in terms of asset classes, property always seems to trump most asset classes in turbulent times. Given the communities within which we work, we find that property is always a favored investment class. You know, it's literally as safe as houses, as they say, for a whole number of reasons. But it's an interesting time, but we're not seeing the property market slowing down. If anything, with the government stimulus package around the $25,000 building grant, I believe from my last news check this morning, Scott Morrison indicated that there were much as 40,000 people that have started to access this grant, which is very, very encouraging for the market in that on a number of levels, it helps to stimulate construction or keep construction going and keep it moving. I believe that there's about 1 million workers within the construction sector within Victoria alone. Wow. So given that, we're finding that it's important for the economy to keep construction going, or smaller projects, right? The larger projects will come, they take a lot more time by the time there's feasibility studies done, etc. So those are longer range investments and infrastructural investments for the state. So it made common sense for the government to basically go into the quick wins to keep the economy stimulated. So that's what we're seeing in the market at the moment.
Now, Nesan, obviously you do have experience and expertise in the industry. As Director of Number 8 Property Group, can you give me a bit of insight into what the idea behind its inception was?
Thanks for that. That's a good question. It's not one that gets often asked. But the history to Number 8 Property Group, I think, is as inspiring as what we do. Our founder, Pramu Rodrigo, came to Australia from Sri Lanka as a student. Like most students, he did it the hard way, running second jobs and third jobs. But one thing he realized while being here is that he too, like a migrant, wanted to achieve the Australian dream, namely to own their home. So what he realized was there was a big gap in the market for migrants, particularly migrants coming in from the geographical area of, say, Sri Lanka, India, etc., in terms of not knowing how to go about acquiring their first home. So the whole aim and the intent behind Number 8 Property Group is that of educating and informing our clients and would-be clients on how to make informed decisions and informed choices around how they invest their money, about how they grow what we call intergenerational family wealth, right? As I said earlier on, you know, for that particular target market, that segment, property is a very, very strongly valued asset class. And in terms of some of the strategies that Number 8 can share through its educational arm of its clientele, and whether that be one-to-one meetings, whether that be through seminars, it's the education around how to understand the mechanics behind owning your own home. And that is where the whole inspiration came from. And dare I say, it's growing now from strength to strength, and the feedback from our clients is that some of the education we provide has been very, very valuable in them making informed decisions.
Nesan, thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. I'm sure that you have shared some valuable pearls of wisdom for both myself and many of our viewers out there. We hope to see you again soon back on the show.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to coming back, or being invited back again, I should say.